Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I have my, what is this, my third cup of coffee, I think, yeah. And I wanted to show you a little, I like to do this every once in a while when we have 24, 48-hour pullbacks. I like to remind you of a little perspective. This is the red you see here is because of your pullback. But look at what you see when you go to 30 days, 1 quarter, 1 year. Look at Cardano up over 2,000%. BNB's up over 1,254%. Even XRP with an SEC lawsuit's up over 97% for the year. That's insane. I mean, all of this is insane. But, well, I take that back. It's insane and it's not insane. It's insane to think that there can be these kinds of returns. It's not insane against the backdrop of central bank insanity across the world for the past 30 to 50 years in the fiat money printing machine that is central banking. In that perspective, it's not crazy. So when you see over 2,000% returns, what that really means is that what the central banks have done is 2,000% stupid, is what it really means. So that sounds like a title. So I'm going to write 2,000% stupid. And anyway. So, and I didn't mean to point at the dog coin return when I said that. That's not what I was actually talking about, how 2,000% stupid the central bank thing is. Now, folks, you need to be thinking about something. We're heading to the tax season, and the IRS is going to be, they are going to find out if you haven't been paying your crypto taxes. Token tax, I've got this in the description of all my videos, and there's a coupon, like a discount code. Watch how it works. This is awesome.
Token tax is the world's best way to quickly and easily file your cryptocurrency taxes. Token tax works with every crypto exchange. It comes through your crypto data and generates all the forms you'll need to correctly and confidently file your taxes. Oh, and did we mention it works in every country? Getting started with token tax is easy and fast. Here's how it works. First, sign up for an account and complete your tax profile. Next, add your crypto data using either a CSV upload or by connecting to your crypto exchange. Choose your preferred accounting method and download your tax forms. And that's it, you're done. With token tax, you can sit back and relax, knowing your crypto.
That's pretty darn cool if you ask me. So anyway, I'll put that at the top of the description and in the comments section of this video. All right, you got to see this. This is Charlie Munger. He was on a rant yesterday with CNBC. He talks about Bitcoin right here. And listen to what he said. I think he also made the GameStop, the Wall Street Bets people mad yesterday. Listen to what he says about Bitcoin, though.
He's never been a fan of Bitcoin, and a few years ago, I think he called it rat poison. This time he came out and was a little quieter at first. He said, it's the equivalent of digital gold, and since I never buy gold, I would never buy any Bitcoin, and I would recommend others do the same. Then he went on to quote Oscar Wilde on fox hunting, and he said it's basically the pursuit of the uneatable by the unspeakable, and added, we will not be following Tesla into Bitcoin. This is a great one that he just came out with, Melissa. He just came back with something else. He was asked, what do you think is worse, the valuation for Tesla or the valuation for Bitcoin? He's quoting somebody else, and I missed the name of who this was, but he said, I can't decide between a flea and a louse. I don't know what is worse. And then he was asked about GE and what happened there at General Electric. He said, I never bought a share of GE because I never liked the culture, and I was not surprised when it blew up. He said Larry Culp, he thinks better of Larry Culp and of what...
Okay, so basically they hate Bitcoin still. Okay, now you got to see this, but let me tell you what, folks. I was there when the dot-com boom happened. I was there, and I am telling you, this time is very similar, but it's better. And here's why. You're about to see Coinbase is going to be the first legit. Who keeps texting me like crazy? I don't know if you can hear. I don't know if that comes across. I think it does, but I'm getting text out the wazoo right now. Okay, but here's the thing about this Coinbase IPO. When this happens, folks, not only is it going to put crypto in a very high-profile spot, but we're about to see. We are literally what's going to happen is not only are people going to be turned on to the equity of trying to buy blockchain IPOs, but they're also, when the Coinbase thing goes public, the people are going to be downloading that app like crazy. And if you own crypto that's on the Coinbase app, well, 2 + 2 = 4, right? Okay, so listen to what this is on Squawk Box about the Coinbase IPO filing.
Meantime, we have some news just out crossing Coinbase, cryptocurrency exchange. Let's get to Leslie Picker, who's got the details. Leslie.
Hey, Andrew. Yeah, they filed their S-1 this morning for a direct listing, date TBD. But some really fascinating details in this filing. They showed that revenue in 2020 increased about 136%, over $1 billion in revenue. So more than doubling in 2020. Most of that revenue stemming from transaction fees. Also net income positive, showing in 2020 $322 million in net income. They said that they had 43 million retail users, 7,000 institutions on their cryptocurrency exchange. Other details about the transaction: they will be debuting with 2 classes of stocks set to list on the NASDAQ. The filing has a bunch of kind of fun, interesting aspects to it. They, normally on the front page, they'll say that they're copying, general counsel, they're copying executives from the company. In this one in particular, they also had a copy to Satoshi Nakamoto, who of course is the pseudonym for the founder of Bitcoin. So kind of a fun thing there. Also a letter from Brian Armstrong where he talks about, that's the CEO of the company, talking about economic freedom and what Coinbase can offer for people who are interested in cryptocurrency. For those who are less well-versed in the world of cryptocurrency, they do include a glossary of terms so that people can get up to speed. Also, they have some aspects to their risk factors. They mentioned that cryptocurrency, of course, is highly volatile several times in their S1. That is the #1 risk factor in their prospectus, the fact that cryptocurrency can be highly volatile. They also talk about how regulation could be a key risk factor here. Okay.
All right, so there you have it. Now, Heyo Seiko Carmona sent me this. Settle hires former Swift and Ripple exec Marjan Delatine. Blockchain settlement and payment infrastructure provider Settle has hired former Ripple executive Marjan Delatine to lead its payments business. She will have an overall responsibility for growing Settle's payments business alongside its market infrastructure and asset management offerings. She left Ripple last summer after 3.5 years as global head of banking. Before that, she spent 10 years at Swift. Okay, so let's look at this Settle. First, it's important to note Marjan Delatine was one of the most decorated Ripple executives. Okay, look at her. I've shown this before. Global head of banking at Ripple. She was at Swift for 8 years and 9 months. Senior sales and relationship manager at Euroclear. And there BNY Mellon pops up once again, right? Okay, so let's look. This is Settle, where she went. 21st Century Solutions for Financial Services. Settle's dedicated to building blockchain-based solutions for financial markets, asset management, and payments. Settle's core technology is proprietary market, All right, so the bottom line is, and you might note that there's an X in their logo. That's kind of interesting. You have to wonder if all is connected, and you have to wonder if Marjan Delatine is now a node on the network away from Ripple. Let's look at a couple of guys that are on the board at Settle. First one, Sir David Allen Walker. British banker, former chairman of Barclays. He was chairman of Morgan Stanley International. He was assistant secretary at the Treasury, chairman, Securities Investment Board, executive director for finance and industry at the Bank of England, deputy chairman at Lloyd's. He was also, look, 1994, he also joined the Washington-based financial group advisory body, Group of 30. Group of 30, we've talked about that on here before, often abbreviated to G30. An international body of leading financiers and academics which aims to deepen understanding of economic and financial issues and examine consequences of decisions made in public and private. And then you go down here, it says right here, and you'll see the IMF, all these groups are the same people. So they're all connected, folks. Consultative Group on International Economic and Monetary Affairs. Group of 30, the G20, the G whatever, the IMF, the World Bank, the United Nations, it's all the same thing, folks, okay? Look, G30's current chairman is Tharman Shanmugaratnam. I know I butchered that one. This reminds me, he's the chairman of the G30 now. Anybody remember this video? Listen up.
Also mentioned in his presentation on country platforms.
Hold on, I'm going to start it back over and I'm jacking the sound up. Ready? Watch.
Also mentioned in his presentation on country platforms. Very interesting. It was a proposal that was agreed to by the US, by China, by Japan, by the Europeans, and by almost everyone in the emerging world. It was a proposal that involves everyone making some adjustments because it was about a level playing field of global, regional, and bilateral actors in each developing country. And the common interest they all have is that it will enable them to mobilize a lot more private capital. And if you mobilize a lot more private capital, each of you is more likely to succeed in your own bridge or railway line or power station.
In your own bridge? That's interesting. Okay, let me turn that volume down just a tad now. All right, so moving along, and then this is also for this Settle company. Former governor of French central bank joins board of directors of blockchain firm Settle. And then this is him, Christian Noyer. He was French economist, served as the governor of the Bank of France. Oh, look. In this capacity, he chaired the Bank of International Settlements. That's the same Bank of International Settlements that Augustin Carstens runs, and he was the guy that was sitting in the room right near Christine Lagarde when Brad Garlinghouse was in Switzerland speaking to a room full of central bankers from around the world. All of these same people. And this reminds us of this. Bank of France, this is from Bank XRP back in April 2020. Bank of France says Ethereum and Ripple XRP could power central bank digital currencies. Riz XRP sent me this from Christian Carlo. He's all of a sudden been activated. Wow, indeed. In case you haven't, he's retweeting this. In case you haven't seen the news, Fed wire system is down. So we and everyone else aren't able to process incoming or outgoing wires or ACH payments currently. Crypto payment rails for incoming and outgoing transactions continue to operate normally. Wow. And Christian Carlos says, wow, indeed. Michael at VAL5 Links sent me this. This is from John Deaton. He says, questions to ask Gary Gensler. Dear crypto community, on Monday I have a meeting with the legal staff of Senator Sheldon Whitehouse to discuss the writ of mandamus pending in Rhode Island federal court. That's the lawsuit I think he's doing. Also, I've been asked to submit potential questions for Senator Jack Reed to ask Gary Gensler at his confirmation hearing on Tuesday, March 2nd. So I'll go down here and show you the question I wanted him to ask, if I can find it. Did I skip over my own question? Well, let's see here. There we go. This is what I wanted him to ask. Do you think, this is to Gary Gensler, do you think Ripple should have access to SEC Ethereum-related conversations emails that show how and when they decided Ethereum had become a non-security? And should the SEC have to reveal conversations, emails that led to major exchanges such as Coinbase listing XRP? And then in turn, after they listed them, all of the investing public had plenty of confidence that XRP was not a security because someone made Coinbase think that it was okay to list it. That's a real question. Somebody needs to get to the root of that. I think the SEC owes it to the world. Okay, and finally, I want you to listen to this. This is from XRP Boy. He says, it makes me wonder if Ripple XRP were such bad boys. Why weren't they a part of Operation Crypto Sweep? And he's asking SEC enforcement. Well, let me tell you, I was talking to somebody the other day. I won't say any names. But what they said is that what the SEC did in Jay Clayton doing this, and this was somebody who matters, and they said that what it really looked like was a setup. Those aren't my words. That's what they said. A setup. Almost like a trap that they set. And that, again, is not my words. I'm just telling you what someone said. All right. Listen to this, and you tell me, because what this guy is saying is what you call reasonableness. And what the SEC did is what Jay Clayton did is in no way reasonable to sit on the sidelines and for 8 years and act like you can't figure out what XRP is. And then to, even if you didn't specifically give your blessing, to do something to give a Coinbase and all these exchanges the impression that it was okay to list XRP, and then to come back after 8 years when you're walking out the door and slap a lawsuit on Ripple and say XRP is a security, that's not unreasonable. At best, that's extremely unreasonable. At worst, it's something far worse that I won't say. All right, but listen to this, because this is what you would do if you were being reasonable and just.
SEC has set up a cyber unit within its agency. And I think NASA and the SEC have a very similar mindset. We see basically three buckets of companies, three buckets of ICOs, if you will. There's those that are just the outright frauds. There are those that are trying to comply with securities laws, or maybe they're not even aware that there are such a thing as securities laws, but their white papers are trying to be transparent. They're trying to provide detail about their project. They have a legitimate project. And then there's a final bucket, which, is doing the belt and suspenders and following all of the regulations and all of the requirements.
That would be Ripple.
And our focus,
for
our
8 years.
interest is in going after that first bucket, the bad actors.
Right. The emphasis go after the first bucket, which is the people that aren't even trying to work with regulators. I mean, there's no better poster boy for that than Bitcoin and Satoshi Nakamoto. They literally, the whole mantra has been to not work with regulators and down with the banks, right? Who's Satoshi Nakamoto? Man, if Satoshi Nakamoto is anything other than a government that created all this to literally funnel inflation from QE 1, 2, 3, 4 and everything else into this thing that they could control, if it's anything other than that, my igloo is still for sale, folks. I'm not buying it. Listen to what the rest of what he says. So this guy's basically saying that this is our reasonable approach. Bucket one are the people who are bad actors and have no intention of trying to become good actors. Bucket number two are the people who are trying, they don't know a lot, but they're trying their best. They've got a white paper. They're trying to work within regulations, but there may be some ignorance there. Bucket number three is the people who, like Ripple, who for 8 years very transparently and openly said, we want to work with regulators. We are working with regulators and did work with regulators and dotted every I and crossed every T. And then one guy in there's no other word, cowardly fashion, files a lawsuit after 8 years of staring at it and acting like he's scratching his head and can't figure it out, and leaves the SEC and files a lawsuit as he does it. That's pitiful. The SEC should be flat out embarrassed at what that guy did, and they ought to drop the thing because of that. I mean, it's pitiful, and everybody knows it. It's a stain on the SEC, and everybody knows it, and it'll stay there if they don't do the right thing in this situation. It's as simple as that. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that this is reasonableness. What the SEC did is something far different. Thank you for listening.